Peace, family. Listen, I want to have a conversation with you guys because there seems to be this debate or this dilemma in the spiritual community, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's two different ideas when it comes to the moon, right? Now, for astrologists, for people who work with moon magic, who work with lunar deities, for those who work with the divine feminine, like we've been taught that the moon is a source of energy for us to do healing, for us to tap into our psychic powers. The moon is also symbolic of the subconscious mind, right? It's also symbolic with magic. That's why a lot of ancient cultures used to study the mysteries of the moon. Now, when you look into the conspiracy theory forums and on YouTube, they have these videos and people saying that the moon is not real. They say that the moon is actually a satellite that was created by the reptilians in order to send certain frequencies to Earth to create an illusion for us to see this fake matrix, right? They say that the moon is actually the source of what we're like, how we're able to see this physical reality. But then it's like, this is what I mean by there's so much information online where it's like, we don't know what's real. We don't know what's lies. We don't know what's truth. We don't know what's psyop information. Like, how do we know that it's not somebody in the CIA or something that just put that information out there to deter us from tapping into our ancient magic? How do we know that the moon is fake? Like, how do we know any of this, right? And so now I'm a little bit conflicted because if the moon is fake, then how does that work with astrology? How does that work with cancers? How does that work with your moon sign? How does that work with, like, how does that even work? Like, if the moon is fake, then how is it that people in ancient societies were using the moon in order to know when to plant seeds, when to plant crops, when to move, and when to relocate, when to do certain things? Like, a lot of old civilizations, they were more so lunar centered, meaning like, you know, they based their months and timings on the moon. That's why women were synchronized with the moon, because society and the tribes will be able to know what season or time it was based upon when the women in the village were menstruating, okay? Because all of the women in the village would menstruate at the same time. Similar to today, you ever notice that, you know, let's say it's a whole bunch of women that's working in the workplace, right? If one woman gets her period, then everybody else get their period at the same time, right? It's like, it always syncs up. Whenever women are living in the same household, if one person get their period, everybody else get their period. It's like I don't know, it's like it's contagious or something, right? And so I never really understood that back then, but now I understand now, knowing the occult sciences, is that it's something about the power of menstruating, right? Like, they even say in certain traditions that, you know, a menstruating woman shouldn't do your hair. A menstruating woman shouldn't cook. A menstruating woman shouldn't hold somebody's baby. Or you know, a pregnant person shouldn't be around a menstruating woman. They have all of these different sayings from, like, you know, old wives' tales, those old, you know, southern ladies in the backwoods. Like, they will always tell us these sayings, like, especially in the South. And so my thing is this, right? Like, tell me, what do you guys think? Is the moon fake? Is it real? You know, is it something that was constructed? Is it something that was naturally put there? You know, like, I guess I got to do more research myself, because I don't really know. Like, you know, I always say, like, I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. I don't know shit. Like, all I know is based upon the research that I found, because shit, for all we know, we probably not even on Earth right now. We probably on Neptune. Like, we probably in a dome right now. Like, we don't know if the Earth is flat or round. We don't know if the Earth is freaking square. Like, what if it's a cube? You know, like, I always say that when people have those debates about the world being flat or round, I'm like, how y'all know it's not a cube? How we know it's not a triangle? How do we know we're not in a giant pyramid? Like, we don't fucking know if we even on a spaceship right now. So it's like, we really, once you start to accept that we really don't know anything, only thing I can go based upon is, like, what resonates with me. And I know that me being a Cancer sun, you know, in tropical astrology, that I work very well with the moon. I've worked with moon goddesses, like deities and stuff that are synchronized with the moon, like Khonshu, Osset, right? Ancient deities I work with. And so it doesn't make sense if they was to say that the moon is fake, because if that's the case, why do my rituals work? How is my spells able to manifest the way that they do if the moon is fake? If the moon is an illusion put by the reptilians or the Anunnaki, they say. But these are the same people that talk about, you know, the all-seeing eye is satanic. So this is what I mean. Like, I got deeper into my spiritual journey based upon like the Illuminati videos back in like the early 2000s. And since then, like, I've been on my journey, but then I started realizing, like, the deeper you go into history, the deeper you start to dig, you start realizing, like, you start uncovering the lies. You start realizing, like, wait a minute, how is it that in Asia they have the same symbol? And then you go on the West Coast and they have the same symbol, and this predates Christianity. So how is this satanic? Because at that time, the word Satan itself didn't even exist. So it's not adding up. Like, this is what I mean by it's so important to study different spiritual paths, different cultures, understanding different languages, so you can have access to information that's not accessible to us here in English or in the Americas. There's so much information out here, and it's dangerous because it's like, yo, people don't know what's true and what's not. Like, I don't subscribe to anything because I always say you're always changing. But tell me what you think. Like, tell me what you think. If you're an astrologer, if you are deep into, like, let's say, you know, one thing I love about my platform, and I always tell you guys this, like, I never profess to being a teacher. Like, I am a student, and I'm still learning and I'm studying. And what I love is, like, I love when my supporters send me information. They be like, yo, CQ, check out this book, check out this video, check out this movie, check out this resource here. It's like, you know, I feel like I teach, or I share what I know, and you guys also share with me. And that's why I love this platform, because, like, we're literally teaching each other. So if you have information to help me understand, like, what this whole fake moon business is about, if the moon is fake, like, you know, provide me resources that can tell me. I don't want to don't send me a video of some random person talking about the moon is fake on YouTube, because that's not really a strong resource. Like, I need some documented, historical, like, something. But even if, like, even like firsthand resources, I forgot what's it called, primary resources. There's primary research. There's secondary. I forgot, they taught us this in school, you guys. Like, this shows I wasn't paying attention, right? In school. But I think primary resources, when the information is coming directly from a person, right? Like, when Christopher Columbus came to America, they said in his primary resource and documentation, he said that the people that were there were copper skinned, dark skinned people with curly hair. So that's how, you know, you can tell that the people, like, they were black or copper people here in the Americas, and we didn't all come from Africa, right? Like, that's primary resource. I think a secondary resource is if, like, somebody gets information and they regurgitate it. Like, the educational system is pretty much secondary information, because everybody, like, your professor is just regurgitating to you what their professor taught them, right? Like, medical doctors and scientists, they're only regurgitating and practicing what was taught to them. But what if I told you that everything that was taught to these people that was teaching you is just, like, made up shit? Like, this is not the real source information, because we got to realize that, you know, the science, religion, spirituality, culture, language, everything was infiltrated. Everything was infiltrated. And even to this day, the information is still being infiltrated. And so now I feel like, because we're in the year 7, or rather, you know, 2023, add those numbers up, you get 7. This is why you guys got to get into numerology, because this particular world that we're in is run by numbers, right? Like, we're talking about divine science here. And they say that numerology is actually older than astrology. Okay? Because you cannot go one day without working with numbers. You wake up in the morning, you check your phone, you look at the time. You got to go to the store. Guess what happens? You got to count your money, count your change, right? You need to go somewhere. You need the number to the address. You got to type in a GPS, right? There's no possible way to operate without working with numbers in a day. It's not. So if, you know, if this particular world is run by numbers and particular codes, once you understand the language of the universe and numbers and mathematics, then you'll be able to make predictions and also to tell when certain things are going to happen. So that's why I'm able to know, like, this is the year of 7. So this is a year of unveiling. This is a spiritual year. A lot of people are going to be seeking truth, but you got to be careful because there's going to be a lot of false spiritual teachers out here teaching fake shit. And this is why I always tell you guys, like, even when it comes to me, don't take everything I say as like truth, because you need to also research what I do. This is why I give you guys the books, resources, and websites I get my shit from, because I'm like, look, this is what I found. This is the research that I've done. You know, what do you guys think about this? And I'm always open to constructive criticism as long as it's done with respect. But if you come on my page acting ignorant and crazy, talking crazy to me, of course I will block you. Okay, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. I need to know, what is this whole fake moon business? People talking about the moon is fake now. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because what do you define as real and fake? This whole entire existence is fake. Like, they say that the image in the mirror, like your reflection, is more real than you, right? Like, we don't know what's real and what's not anymore. What if the waking world is the real dream world and the dream world is the real world? Yes, we've been lied to about a lot of stuff, Pimpin'. Pimpin' said we've been lied to. Kake Son Deminu says she heard that too. People say that the moon is hollow and aliens are inside. Like, I'm hearing that we have a hollow earth, but I do believe in a hollow earth though, because I actually astral projected one time by accident in Agartha. And for people that don't know what Agartha is the world inside of Earth, like the inner Earth. Because they say that, you know, there's people who live in the waters, there's people who live on the surface, and there's also people who live inside, like under the crust. That we have many worlds inside of Earth, and that our scientists and stuff haven't taught us this. Like, this is information that has not been revealed to the public, and it's not written down in the books. Okay. But there was I can't think of the dude's name right now, but there was a guy who flew over Antarctica and he saw it and he documented like stuff that he's seen. And they even say that a lot of the Nazis flew and they had secret bases, underground bases in Antarctica. And that in Antarctica, they actually have like tropical places and stuff like that. Some say that that's where all the extinct animals and dinosaurs and shit went to. Like, we don't fucking know anything, okay? Because all I know is that they have it blocked off where you can't, there's like no fly zones where you can't fly certain places, like for a reason. They don't want you seeing shit, right? Like, people been talking about seeing 2 suns. They told us that we only have 1 sun. They tell us that the world, like, my thing is, we don't know shit. Like I keep saying, like, we don't know anything. We don't know what's true, what's not. Only thing we could really do is just teach each other and educate each other and continue to like study. But like I said, this is the year 7 and everything's going to be revealed, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the truth to be revealed. I think somebody asked me what I think about dinosaurs. I think that dinosaurs are dragons. I think that when you read sacred texts and scriptures, that when they talk about dragons, dracos, serpents, snakes, flying serpents, they're talking about dragons, right? Dragons do exist. They did exist. And I talk a lot about dragon magic and stuff. Like, they say everybody is born with a dragon, and that there's certain things that you need to do to call forth this dragon or work with your dragon energy. And dragons are very powerful, and they're very, very, very wise, and they can teach you a lot of shit. Okay, so that's what I think about dinosaurs. I think that the bones and stuff that they have in the museums and stuff might be fake. Somebody says the moon is a device that provides the veil and keeps us in the matrix. That's what I said too, Laura. But if that's the case, then that would throw out everything in astrology. It just doesn't make sense. Like, things are not adding up to me. And I look at history, and based on my research, it doesn't. This whole fake moon sounds like a new theory to me. It sounds very new. So if you guys have documentations of like old historical documents saying that the moon, people discovered that the moon is fake, or send that to me because I need to know what's going on. But something's been telling me that there's going to be a huge reveal sometime this year or next year, and I feel like it's going to be this year. That people, the governments or whatever, is going to start to tell us the truth about what's really been going on, like as far as aliens, as far as UFOs, as far as technology, as far as medicine. Like, I feel like by the year 2025, and I keep getting that year, like 2025, but by then everything is going to start coming out. Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But yeah, but I'm just going to leave you guys with that thought. If you tell me what you guys think, drop it below, drop it in the comments. Let me know, like, do you think the moon is fake? Do you think the moon is real? Like, what do you think that they're making this stuff up about the moon being fake to deter us? Like, I don't know. Tell me your thoughts, because I know it's a lot to take in, but tell me your thoughts. And yeah, let's get to the bottom of this. Even if there is an answer, there may not be an answer, and I'm okay with that. Like, as an occultist, sometimes you got to be okay with knowing that sometimes you're not going to know the answer to everything. And you just got to accept things for what it is. Like, there's a possibility we may never know. We got to accept that, there's a possibility we may never understand what God is, or the creator is, right? If it's so big and intelligent, like, we won't be able to grasp it with our human minds. I think human beings just want to conquer and understand everything, because what humans don't understand, they fear. So they try everything to try to like understand something, or either deem it evil, good, or whatever. But sometimes it's deeper than that. You feel me? But I think that your mind creates your universe, and whatever you believe, it becomes real, right? Like, if you think that you're worthless, that nobody likes you, that you're hideous, that you're the worst thing ever to be bred on this earth, then guess what? That's going to be true. And people are also going to feel that energy that you're emanating, and also respond to that energy that you're sending out to the universe, because you created that idea, and so the universe has to respond and make it real. Now, when you start changing your perception of yourself, and you be like, you know what, like, I'm bad, like, I'm beautiful, I'm powerful, like, I came here with a mission, like, yo, my purpose, my presence is purposeful, like, I'm here for a reason, like, ain't nobody out here like me, like, spirit manifested me into this earth to do great things, and I'm gonna leave a great impression before I leave. Like, when you have an attitude like that, the universe responds. And it says, okay, that's how you feel about yourself, then we're going to make other people also resonate to that energy that you're emanating. If you think that life is just, hard, and the Illuminati's out here to suppress you, and that you're powerless and you can't do nothing, then yeah, guess what? You're going to be powerless. If you think that the white man is stopping you from living your life, and you can't be happy, you can't travel, you can't live your life because the white man is saying, stopping you, then you giving all your power to this white man. Like, we gotta stop playing victim. Like, one of my biggest turn-off is people who play victim. People who go, woe is me. Right? Like, fix your reality. If you don't like your life, fix it. If you don't like where you live, move. If you don't like your job, quit. Like, sometimes life is so simple, but humans make it complicated. It's really that simple. Like, whatever you don't like about yourself, change it. Whatever you don't like about life, change it. But I'm just going to leave it on that note. Create your own reality, family, right? Like, whether you think the moon is fake or not, like, I'm starting to think, if you think it's fake, then it's going to be fake, and the energies of the moon won't work for you. But I think that the moon, from what I experienced, to me, it seems pretty real. My moods shift with the moon. My magic shifts with the moon. Like, you know? As Miss Limitless says, you have the power to do you. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. I hope. Well, anyway, family, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. I know that this whole moon situation is crazy, but I'm interested in knowing what you guys know. Share your resources and links and books if you have any. I'm open to learning more. Okay, thank you. See you guys soon. Peace.